Experts believe there are about 6,500 bodies of Palestinian men, women, and children trapped beneath the rubble, which then leads them to believe that the number of Palestinians that have been killed exceeds 10,000. Now, you may or may not have heard about this already, but this man right here is Josh Paul, and he worked for the State Department. In fact, he spent more than 11 years as the director of congressional and public affairs at the bureau that oversees arms transfers to foreign nations. Just yesterday, he posted to his LinkedIn that he resigned and included a letter of explanation. In his letter, he wrote, "Let me be clear, Hamas's attack on Israel was not just a monstrosity, it was a monstrosity of monstrosities. I also believe that potential escalations by Iran-linked groups such as Hezbollah or by Iran itself would be a further cynical exploitation of the existing tragedy. But I believe to the core of my soul that the response Israel is taking, and with it the American support both for that response and for the status quo of the occupation, will only lead to more and deeper suffering for both the Israeli and the Palestinian people and is not in the long-term American interest." He made it very clear that he cannot work to support a set of policy decisions that include sending over arms, which he believes to be short-sighted, destructive, unjust, and contradictory to the very values that we publicly espouse. We've talked about this now so many times. Palestinians have been suffering for years, and the only people that had really been talking about it or standing up for them really just felt like Middle Easterns and Arabs. And now there's a shift. There's definitely a shift. I mean, this man took a stance. He said what's happening is not okay. He walked away from his job. I really feel like there's hope for the future.
I think we are starting to see the beginning of people tired with the bullshit. You have the senior State Department official who has been overseeing arms sales resigning after Biden, approached when it comes to Israel and Palestine. He did an interview with the Huffington Post right after, and essentially he's like, he couldn't shift anything. He couldn't push for a more humane policy. They literally want to start a war. He actually posted his resignation, I believe, to his Facebook. You guys can pause to read. You also have a journalist from the BBC resigning, essentially doing it on professional consciousness, i.e., he is not here for the propaganda. You then had the UN Human Rights Committee yesterday, where damn near half the room turned their back to U.S. Ambassador Michelle Taylor. And then you have the Minister of Social Rights for Spain calling out Israel and essentially pushing the government of Spain to cut ties and impose sanctions. Not only that, they got Italy in on this too, so the country is starting to turn on them.
I think if we all take a step back, this man has done seemingly everything he can over the last 5 weeks to give away the next election. The headline here reads, Biden administration staff sign open letter demanding ceasefire in Israel-Hamas war. There's that American media spin they're putting on the title of this conflict. At the time this was reported, over 400 federal employees had signed this letter. The letter says the signatories represent various backgrounds and faiths and work in more than 30 different departments and agencies. 2 staff members of the Biden administration who led the outreach efforts for the letter told NBC News that since the letter was first circulated roughly 2 weeks ago, it's gained the signatures of senior and low-level administration employees working across the federal government and in multiple countries. They include staff in the Departments of Commerce, Defense, Interior, Homeland Security, and the Executive Office of the President, among many others. And that's before we even address the fact that some of his supporters run into comment sections spouting media propaganda about things like human shields and the fact that apparently Hamas has a stronghold under every building in Gaza, apparently. And many of the people doing that are the same ones who condemned George W. Bush for what he did in the Middle East and his father before him, and so on and so on. And now what they are engaging in is exactly what the supporters of those presidents did.
Paul says he's resigning after President Biden pledged more military aid to Israel. Josh Paul posted on LinkedIn, quote, "This administration's response, and much of Congress's as well, is an impulsive reaction built on confirmation bias, political convenience, intellectual bankruptcy, and bureaucratic inertia. I cannot work in support of a set of policy decisions, including rushing more arms to one side of the conflict that I believe to be short-sighted, destructive, unjust, and contradictory to the very values that we publicly espouse and which I wholeheartedly endorse." Lots of big words there.
Lots of big words there. Lots of big words there. Lots of big words. Big words. Oh my God. What's with all these big words? I can't believe that people are falling for this bullshit. That people fall for this propaganda. That they think that Fox or CNN or any of this bullshit Zionist-owned news are giving us anything remotely close to the truth. This is sickening and sad. And if we're really this dumb, if we're really this gullible, I mean, if we are, if we're really this full of hate and this stupid, then maybe we just deserve World War III. Maybe that's what it has to be. Maybe what these other religious people tell me about Bible prophecies and whatnot, like maybe that's what's supposed to happen. Maybe that's how it's supposed to go, because I'm sick and tired of trying to convince people that they've been fooled. I am fucking tired trying to tell people that the media is all just a bunch of fucking lies. But no, they want to hate Trump and love Israel and hate this and love that and choose sides and fund this and blow that up and annihilate this and wipe them off the planet and finish them and all this other crazy bullshit. Then fuck all of you. Gay people telling me that I'm experiencing internalized homophobia because I don't agree with their propaganda and their nonsense. Their ability to think that whatever political cause they have is more important than wiping people off the face of the earth. Like, I give up. Like, I don't want to make any more videos. I don't want to watch any more TikToks. I don't care. I can't make any of them stay up anyways. They all get taken down. Doesn't matter what you say. You can talk about propaganda coming from one political side or another, from one country or another. It doesn't matter, because there's enough people out there that hate you not liking their propaganda so much that your video is going to get taken down and you're not going to be able to say anything anyway. So just get over it. The people who have the money and the power have the money and the power. The people who control the media and the internet and everything, they're in control. What the hell am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? Lots of big words.